tentacle monsters. We see them in hentai, in doujins, and other media outlets throughout the world. Are they these monstrous creatures that media puts them out to be? Monstrous creatures that are out to get innocent anime girls that we see on the internet? Or is there something more serious and different under that exterior of theirs? Is there something more timid in nature? Well, today we're going to be finding out when I interview Tentacle-sama, a real-life tentacle monster in the hentai industry. So let us dive deep into the wondrous world of tentacle monsters. Everyone say hello to Tentacle-sama. So weird. So first question I have for you today is, do you identify as a tentacle monster or do you identify yourself as a different breed?
I'm a tentacle, yes, but no monster. Heavens, no.
So what would you prefer?
I prefer the term Cephalopodica appendigenus.
A what?
Cephalopodica appendigenus. It's the appropriate term for cephalopods with appendages.
I'm pretty sure that's not a real thing. So you don't do hentai anymore, from what I understand.
That's correct. I've retired since then.
What was it like working in the hentai industry?
Well, I quit the industry a while ago, but back then I'd spend my time browsing doujins for casting calls.
Wait, casting calls?
Yes, look, all doujins have casting calls on the inside. It's just in small font.
I've never noticed.
I got a few gigs, but most artists didn't have a budget for a full-blown animation back then, so I stuck with a lot of side gigs. Perhaps you saw me in the first season of Bible Black.
Oh, was that you? I thought that there was like a demon with tentacle arms or something.
On the contrary, demons don't have tentacles, but the producers thought including them would add a bit of extra to the series. So that's when I got the part.
Wow, amazing stuff. You really had me fooled there.
Yeah, I guess you could say that season went out with a bang.
So then that was your first step into the hentai industry, correct?
My first and also my last.
Okay, so approximately how long were you in the industry for?
I didn't stick in the hentai industry for long since there weren't many gigs there. Apparently, people aren't that into tentacle scenes nowadays.
I beg to differ, but go on.
My second biggest gig came in the hit show Sword Art Online, where I also performed the scene where slimes had Asuka in their grips. But they were too slimy to hold on to her, so the makeup artist did one hell of a job on me. You've probably seen that scene in a ton of YouTube thumbnails already.
Are there any stereotypes or assumptions about tentacle monsters that may or may not be true?
The general public has this image that all tentacle monsters have no feelings and that our only drive is to violate innocent damsels in anime. I mean, we don't just want to fill every orifice with our tentacles. We're actually pretty shy in nature.
Anything else?
Do you ever see those scenes where the girl is being held up 10 feet in the air?
Yeah.
Well, most of that is done using a harness.
Harness?
Yeah, so most tentacle scenes you'll notice take place out of water. So while we're strong in the ocean, once you pull us out, our muscles become too feeble by gravity, so we need assistance.
Okay, so now I want you to take me to what would happen behind the scenes.
There would be wires attached to the ceiling and onto a harness the actress would wear, so all I have to do is wrap myself around her, but the tech guys would take care of that while I do the dirty work, and then the wires are removed in post.
Wow, I never knew. So like, is there anything else that people assume about tentacle monsters that might not be true? Are you awake?
I also don't like how everyone thinks that all we want is sex, just because we were in a hentai. If I had the choice, I'd be staying home, just reading Stephen King all the time.
Okay, weird question, but does this job pleasure you at all? Like, how do you feel when you're on set?
Actually, we don't get any pleasure from the work at all. Our tentacles don't have pleasure receptors, so really, it's just all for show.
Wait, so you don't feel anything?
Not in our tentacles, no, but we do in our hearts. All three of them.
Aww. Okay, so weird question, but would I be someone that you would consider being in a tentacle hentai with? Say yes, yes, yes.
If I hadn't retired already, perhaps. But I don't actually have a say in who I end up with. That's the director's job.
So what are they looking for when they're trying to find a suitable actress to you? I'm gonna have to inflate you. So what are you looking for in an actress that would be suitable to be in a scene with you?
Pitch. The higher the voice, the better. Also, they check your weight.
Oh, so they don't like chubby people?
No, it's not that. It's more what the harness can handle. I think the maximum weight is like 40 kilograms.
Oh yeah, then I am way overqualified.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So how much control do you have over your tentacles in real life?
These are the same as your arms, but 10 times better. We have to constantly monitor our usage though, otherwise we might spit out toxic ink and that can cause a huge scene on the set.
Or it can add to it.
No.
What's the weirdest thing that you have been asked to do on set?
I'm a tentacle. I think that answers for itself.
That would make sense. So sometimes in hentai scenes, you'll see like hundreds of tentacles going at it with one actress. Is that all you, or is it like multiple actors, or is it just all special effects?
Yes.
So technically speaking, wouldn't tentacle monsters be considered the same as porn actresses, or are you guys viewed in a different way?
I guess? The actress is more the porn star, and I'm usually not credited because there's still some kind of discrimination in the industry.
Why would you think that?
Because the hentai industry knows the true timid and shy nature of tentacles, which makes us quite easy to manipulate. So they don't take us seriously and wear too much of pussies to say anything about it.
So serious question, do you feel underappreciated being considered as a laughingstock and a meme in recent trends?
Absolutely. Although I'm retired, I took my work very seriously and put my heart and soul into it. I'm a passionate actor who just wants to put food on the table, and to see myself and my species mocked has been distressful on all of us.
So basically what you're saying is like you would rather have people appreciate the work that you guys do rather than just turn you guys into a meme? Clear! Stay with me! Keep your heart beating! So you get treated differently from humans, but do you ever get treated differently from other sea creatures or monsters?
We're in harmony with most of the species. Except for mermaids.
Mermaids? Wait, what?
You think they're sweet and innocent, but they're actually really horrible behind the scenes. They're bossy and annoying. They're pretty much the Karens of the sea.
Even Ariel?
Fuck Ariel! I hate the misinformation being shared everywhere about her. That bitch sold her tail to turn into a human. What does that say? I don't even want to dive into it. No pun intended.
What? So how has this work affected your personal life?
It's really hard to date outside of our species. They keep calling us bukkake masters.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. And I hate how every time I'm invited to a party, everyone is scared that we'll abuse them. But they forget that it's just television, and it's just a job like any other.
Can you explain why you chose this career path in your life?
There weren't many positions in the film industry for us at the time, and the only people who were willing to give us a shot were hentai artists, so that's where I began. It was all planned only as a stepping stone though. Had I known it would lead up to the stereotype that we have right now, I would have never done it.
Yeah, your guys' species was kind of thrown into this industry that sort of turned into this fetish that entirely depended on you guys. That's crazy.
Exactly. And even after all of our hard work, it's all just been spit back into our faces.
Before you leave, I have a parting gift for you.
Oh my god, really? Thank you so much!
No, thank you for introducing me to the wondrous world of tentacle monsters. I've learned so much. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to know more about tentacle monsters, go follow tentacle-sama on his social media. Do you have anything else you want to shout out?
You need to subscribe to Anthony Padilla's channel, or I will come over there and show you what tentacle monsters can really do.
Dude.
Oh, sorry, did I say that wrong?
This is Anthony's channel.
Wait, it's not? I thought you were just filling in for him or something.
No, remember, I'm Aki Dearest.
Yeah, I know, it's just...
What?
I didn't think anyone still watched you after I left. But, where are you going? I mean, is this over? Can I go back to my hentai van now?